What is going on, guys? I'm Bear.
I'm Abe.
And welcome. Damn it, Abe. We're guitars again.
God damn it.
Well, Mr. Clinton, snap us back into reality.
Okay, we're back. We can't do that ever again, man.
No.
Come on now. Alright, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Mr. Clinton used his last magic eraser on us to bring us back. Anyway, this is our guest today, my good friend, Mr. Clinton. Alright, so look, we got some juicy topics to talk about in today's Nerd Talk.
We do.
So, let's not waste time. Bear, let's start this thing off.
Alright, definitely got to start off with a really good topic right now is MTG.
Woo! Magic the Gathering, the
Yes.
animated show.
On Netflix.
Just confirmed on Netflix.
Yes.
By the directors of Endgame, Infinity War, and Civil War. This is awesome. So Anthony, Joe, and Russo, they finally found something they could do. They are known for doing television, first off.
Yep.
Two of my absolute favorite shows, Community and Arrested Development.
Yes.
Two hilarious shows.
Very fun.
These guys were great. I'm excited to see how this pans out because I'm an MTG player.
Yes,
He's an
definitely.
MTG player.
Big time.
We're trying to get Bear into it. And
A little more than
friends.
I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I'm getting there. I'm just beginning. I learned a little bit, not that long ago here and there. Kind of played a couple games, but I'm getting there.
Yeah.
So I'm more D&D type person, but
Fair enough. D&D is great, though, to be fair. But which basically, this is like the D&D of card games in a way, because it's very all that like old school knights and dragons and monsters and elves and things. So I'm just excited because I want to see how they do. I'm sure it'll have a lot to do with the planeswalkers. I'm sure. So and. I have some of my favorites. I want to see Nico Bolas in there. What about you, man? What's any characters?
Angrath the Flame Chained, or just any other version of him.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I use mostly.
Right on. So yeah, definitely. Dude, it could turn into a really good show.
it could.
I know it's gonna be fun. So
But it's Magic the Gathering.
Yeah,
it's gonna be really.
It's gonna be really
Taking a card
interesting.
game like that, I'm like they did with Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
And Pokemon, all the different card games turned
Which,
into animated
Honestly, I'm surprised that they haven't had a Magic the Gathering show.
shows. Especially as long as it's been out.
Yeah, exactly, because technically MTG has been out way longer than Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
Or even Pokemon. And look, I mean, because they started off as a board game, and they still have the board game, it's still a big thing. We actually have a local shop that sells Magic the Gathering board games and Magic the Gathering cards, and I'm excited to just go down there and just have some fun, because they do Friday Night Magic.
Yep.
And maybe if you guys are interested, when we go down there to finally start playing with other people, maybe we can bring you guys along with us. Possibly.
Maybe we can do a live event. Maybe.
Yeah. It's a smaller store, so it's like a
Yeah.
little mom and pop store. So it's not like a big chain one where they're going to be upset for us videotaping. I think they'll actually welcome it. So that could be really something cool we could do. Something fresh and different from the channel. There's nothing wrong with that.
Also, if you don't have any of those types of stores near you, and that also always check your local Walmart.
Oh yeah.
They also have a bunch of cards for Magic the Gathering and other card games.
Yeah. That's actually where I got started with the MTG stuff. Is through just buying Planeswalker decks through these stores. The one really cool thing about Magic the Gathering is it's really for everybody. It's like for every skill kind of that, because you have professional, you have casual, and then you have like the in between or whatever. Yeah. And the cool thing about casual is you just basically go buy a deck from the store and you can play with anything. Because you're always going to have that evenly matched. It's not like you're going to have a ridiculous unfair advantage if you go and buy something offline. That's really it's really about just playing and having fun, which is really cool. And so I'm just interested in seeing what the hell this show's going to do.
Yeah.
Because look, Joe and Anthony Russo, dude, they killed Endgame. By the way, we say this in almost every video, but if you guys haven't seen any of our Endgame content, we have a ton of it on our channel. We did a spoiler-free, a spoiler-filled review. We did like a couple of different little Road to Endgame videos. We even did a post-Endgame video. We even did the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer.
Yeah.
So if you guys enjoy Marvel content, just stick to the channel. Give us a subscribe.
Yeah, and of
You won't
course,
be disappointed.
yeah, and of course, if probably not many of you out there, but if you have not seen Endgame yet,
Yeah.
get out there and see it.
If you haven't seen it yet, what the hell's wrong with you? I mean, this thing it's about to surpass Avatar for the highest grossing movie of all friggin' time.
Yep.
Man. Just insane.
Definitely.
All right, so what's our next topic, dude?
Oh,
This
oh,
one's-
oh, oh, oh. All right, this one I don't know about. I really don't, but it's going to be very, very interesting. Is another animated movie?
Yes.
Yes, another animated movie. Batman versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. What?
Yes. Dude, I was like, when I saw the trailer the first time, I was like, what is happening here? Like, wait, what did I just see? It's like, what? It's just one of those, like, goofy things, like, where, like, in the comic books, they do the really comedic, kind of fun things where, like, Batman and Scooby-Doo, like, you know, those two.
Yeah.
It's like one of those moments, but at least Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fits a little bit more with, like, a Batman, maybe a little bit more Batman.
It does.
It's a little bit more Batman because they're badass Ninja Turtles, literally.
Yeah, they are.
So
Now the thing is
I
I didn't get the chance to see the trailer yet. I ended up just actually seeing about it.
Yeah.
That the movie's coming up in the paper. Are the Ninja Turtles even in the anime all bulked up stereo? You know.
they look like they used to in the old cartoons.
The old cartoons.
I think that's the way it kind of looks
That's
to me.
yeah. That's what I liked.
Which is cool because then it kind of keeps like a uniformity to it a little bit,
Right.
Maybe just a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I don't really know too much about it. I don't think they really released too much of like the plot or anything.
Right.
But it definitely looks awesome. Looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is. I definitely want to see it.
Well, the really cool thing here, and this is where we're gonna like segue into the other parts of this entire topic, is the DC animated universe is what we're talking about. DC Universe app. If you guys don't have it, get it because you're missing out really bad, like really, really bad. I actually share it with this guy right here. We both read a lot of DC comics together because we actually write comics together, which is really cool. There's so many good shows on there. The one really cool thing about DC Universe is we actually get to see all their brand new animated movies for free on the platform if you pay for the platform, which is just awesome. Like, because I watched the newest Death of Superman animated movie last year, and then the sequel to it, or part 2, is Reign of the Superman this year when it came out on DC Universe. And that was so nice to actually be able to not have to worry about, spending $20 to get a friggin' Blu-ray DVD just to watch it. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's such a great app. But that's not the only animated movie coming out. We also have Batman Hush. Ooh. This looks great. I'm excited. So it's apparently set in the same universe as the core like New 52 style Justice League animated movies that they've been going. So it's like the Justice League War, and then Throne of Atlantis and versus Teen Titans, and then like the Teen Titans Kaju's Contract movie. It's in that same universe, which so it's got Jason O'Mara back as Batman. So that's great to hear his voice in there. I was like, yes. And the Batman Hush storyline is such a classic. Right. Such a friggin' classic. Which I'm excited about.
Definitely.
Yeah. Again, if you don't have the DC Universe app, you're missing out because
this is true.
Like, he can attest to how good like Titans and Doom Patrol have been.
Yeah, I haven't really been watching Doom Patrol that much, but I'm all the way caught up on Titans. I can't wait for season 2. Yeah. It left us on such a cliffhanger there.
Yes, that cliffhanger. We could talk a whole episode about. Like, after we get into it. But dude, there's so many such good stuff on there. Doom Patrol had an incredible first season. I did a season 1 review on my channel. But look, the content they're putting out on there is great. And one of my absolute favorite things, which I entirely forgot to mention to you guys before we started doing this video, is the animated series Young Justice has come back on the platform. And they did the first half of the season, and the second half of the season is still coming yet. But season 3, it got canceled from Cartoon Network.
Right.
And then when they announced this platform, they immediately announced they were bringing that back. And that's what everybody was like, that's what we're here for. So, dude, like, this show, this season has been absolutely incredible because they don't have to worry about it being geared towards kids. Because they've tried to make it almost, even on Cartoon Network, more of adult, not themed, but like more like adult storytelling. So it's like it's thicker stuff that you have to wrap your head around. It's a little bit more, there's more good and evil, like darker premises and stuff. This time, in this season, they're allowed to do blood, gore, anything they want to. They can swear a little bit. They don't push the R rating because they don't really need to.
Right.
But damn, has that first part of the season was just like the first 3 episodes. I think were like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes or whatever. Like that's how good it was.
Yeah,
like
it's
definitely being praised, and I cannot wait for the rest of the season because they're doing some wild shit in the storyline. Another thing that we mentioned is that there's another Wonder Woman movie coming out. So I think this is a sequel to Wonder Woman, the one from 2009, from 2009.
Yeah.
The animated movie, which was great, which is basically the same story as what they did for the Wonder Woman movie,
right?
A couple years ago. And I'm just excited to see what the hell this one's about. It's called Wonder Woman Bloodlines. We haven't seen a trailer for it yet because obviously we just got the trailer for Batman Hush. Right. This doesn't come out after that. But I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I mean, obviously, I'm a huge DC nerd, and it's just all of these movies, like the animated movies and everything, is a huge part of why I moved into comic books in the first place.
Right.
It's what really inspired me to want to start writing comic books in general, and it's been my main source of inspiration ever since. And these movies are equally as important to me as the Marvel Cinematic movies. And I hope at some point that the DC live action films get to the point where we can at least be somewhat MCU-like, because we're having too many problems right now.
I think you mean MCM.
Yeah, yes, thank you, MCM. Dude, I'm still not used to saying it. Like, I've been watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yep.
They immediately started doing all that. The one weird thing is they haven't fully addressed the snap yet, so I wonder if they started filming it and they didn't know about everything. So they're playing it casual, like they're not showing too many people. Yeah. So I think they were like, hey, don't show too many people, just focus on the main characters this season. But I'm sure they'll get to it. But anyway, MCM aside. So we got, look, the DC films, I really hope they get better. One controversial topic that I forgot to tell everybody is, it's official, Robert Pattinson is now Batman for an entire trilogy.
We will not talk about that at all. We will pretend it does not exist, okay?
Yes.
No!
So obviously none of us are too happy about it, but look, I think somebody made a really, really, really good point on the internet that I'm like, fine, I won't be so hateful and bashful. The point that they brought up is, look, everybody, when Ben Affleck was cast as Batman, and when basically Christian Bale was cast as Batman, the last like 5 or 6 times somebody was cast as Batman ever since what's his name at first was cast as Batman. Every single time the community has gone in an absolute uproar and then turned their heads about it directly afterwards. Because look, I'm a fan. I was a big fan of Ben Affleck as Batman. I was like, I wasn't like on the hate bandwagon, but I was like, I don't know if he's gonna be a good Batman. I loved him as Batman because to me he was very like Dark Knight Returns style Batman. The older, grizzled kind of doesn't really care if you break your fucking neck. You know, he's like, like I love that badass Batman, right? But
where he had less restraint.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like that version of Batman was a lot of fun to see on screen. It was underutilized and wasn't utilized the right way, in my opinion. But I still liked him as Batman, and I wish that we would have gotten his directorial, like Ben Affleck's directed version of the Batman movie. Like if it was just Batman with him versus a Batman villain, and it was the Batman mythos, and it was nothing but Batman in one movie, I think that would have been one of the best movies ever. And that's just my opinion.
Right.
But look, that's not going to happen now, so there's no use crying over spilled milk at this point. So, but yeah, Robert Pattinson is Batman. So I had to throw that in there. I'm sorry. We're on the topic of DC, so I had to throw that in there. Anyway, I'm a huge DC fan. I'm going to shut up now.
Yes.
Please.
Anyway, throw this next topic at us.
Yeah, shut your face now. So, but now, off of DC, it has been confirmed, yes, Rick and Morty Season 4.
Yeah.
Season 4 of Rick and Morty.
Yes, Season 4! Woo!
Yes.
All right, guys.
I cannot wait. Like,
Season 4, man. Like, I'm not as big of a fan as like I am DC, but Rick and Morty's one of my other really big ones. In our very first ever episode, I wore a Rick and Morty T-shirt. Shout out to anybody who noticed. But yeah, look, dude, I'm excited as hell.
Well, it's not hard to miss. I mean, you are pretty big.
Mr. Clan has spoken.
But anyway, look, I'm excited to see what they do plotline wise. I mean, obviously, this is a comedic show, and I love Justin Roiland, and I absolutely love. God damn it, I forget his damn name. Dan Harmon, who was the creator of Community, which is, again, one of my absolute favorite comedy shows ever, which he did with the Russo brothers. But, so, him and Justin Roiland together have been just absolutely hilarious. I mean, they created such a gigantic meme in one episode. They dropped one episode for season 3, or, like, not last year, but whatever. However long ago it was now, on April Fools or whatever, and it was the whole first episode, and they created a gigantic meme that forced a chain restaurant to bring back a dipping sauce that they haven't had in decades. That was the best thing ever. Szechuan sauce was amazing. Like I didn't like I thought it was just a freaking joke in the show, but then I actually tried it. And I'm like, oh crap, this is actually good. So apologize for my coughing. But
that's thanks to me.
Yeah. Anyway,
but like mine would have to be the Pickle Rick. Like Pickle Rick was my absolute favorite. Going around Pickle Rick all the time. Like, oh, I love it. Speaking of Pickle Rick, woo, Pickle Rick.
Which you guys seen that in the set before a couple times, handful of times now. Like that whole episode was like. So I thought the Pickle Rick thing was going to be played out and really stupid. But when you get to the episode, and then all of a sudden you actually get into the journey of him being the frickin' pickle, and it like turns into this whole like huge story arc. I'm like, why is this good? Why is this? It's the stupidest concept of all time. A guy turns himself into a pickle. And they turned it into an amazing episode where he turned into a vicious, like, murdering pickle monster machine. And it was amazing. And then they had, what's his name, who plays, Jesus, he's one of the most famous actors. He played Machete. Whatever. Anyway, he
played Machete?
Yes.
Yes. Oh my god.
Yes, I know. Like, it's right on the tip of my tongue.
Are you serious?
Yeah. But I've read it too. But he plays the bounty hunter that they called in well, I didn't know this because I hadn't seen John Wick, but that whole sequence was like the whole John. They were playing fun at the first John Wick movie, calling him Saldeno or whatever, which is pickle or whatever. But but like they were doing the whole Baba Yaga thing, which was great. But yeah, like anyway, he plays Jaguar in the episode, and it was so awesome. They have such great guests. That's the one thing I want from this season is more great guest voice actors, just doing what they do best. I think it'd be a lot of fun. But yeah, so yeah. But what are you hoping to see out of the season?
I don't know. Like
more good comedy.
Of course. I mean, it's Rick and Morty. Like the adult humor that they have is just outrageous.
Yes. Love it.
It's amazing though.
I was like when I first I'd never seen the show, and then I watched the first episode, and I was like, the show is bad when the first thing you see is when the main characters jump through a portal and you see a flying ball sack. Like that was in the very first episode. Within the first 10-15 minutes, what? That's how you know what show you're getting into.
Right.
Well, disclaimer: the reason I didn't seem excited at all is I haven't even watched it yet.
Yeah. So, put some shame in the comment section for Mr. Clown.
Fuck you.
But no,
we'll get him there.
We'll get him there. Don't worry about it. I got Hulu, so I'll let him watch it. Don't worry about it.
No, but since they do actually do a lot of where they make fun of different things, other shows, I'm kind of maybe since this was Infinity War.
Well, they already did.
They did.
There was an episode in season 3 that you might have not seen. It's called The Vindicators.
Oh,
it's hilarious. Okay. That was one of my favorite episodes. Drunk Rick getting extremely fucking drunk is the funniest thing ever. Ever. Look, season 3, if you haven't seen that shit, get on it because it's hilarious.
I definitely
my absolute favorite episode out of all of them was the Rick Lantis mix-up where you think you're going to go watch them go to Atlantis or whatever, and they played it off really smooth in the trailers for it. And then all of a sudden you get to the episode, and then suddenly you're on the Citadel of Ricks, and it's nothing but Ricks and Mortys. And it's the entire episode, and then you get to see President Morty, a.k.a. the return of Evil Morty, which was the best thing ever. Yes. If you guys get into the really, really deep, crazy, wild scientific things that they do in there, the sci-fi stuff that they do in the show, which is a lot of fun, too. We could devote a whole episode to talking about the deeper stuff that they do storyline wise.
That idea might come.
Season 4, give me more Evil Morty, please. Because we know you have 77 episodes, which means you can do as many seasons as you want, and you can do as many episodes as you want per season. More Evil Morty, please. Because look, that's my favorite stuff. Is the wild Evil Morty theory, because everybody brought it up once, and then it was only in one episode, so they never everybody left the theory, but then all of a sudden they actually revisited the theory. It's dude, there is a storyline here. They're doing the thing. They're doing the thing. This isn't just complete nonsensical comedy. They have some fun themes and stories going on, which is one of my favorite things about Rick and Morty. All right, so look, we've been talking long enough. Let's throw our final plugs in for the day. We got a couple of small things to talk about.
Okay. Definitely. Don't forget, guys. Starting Sunday.
Yes.
This Sunday. E3. E3. So be prepared for that.
If you guys... to add on to the E3 thing, if you guys didn't already watch our last episode, but you're watching this one first, I'll let you guys know our schedule. It's slightly changed, but it's still mainly the same. Sunday on my channel, and we're doing a co-channel thing here.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a full reaction, a full-length reaction to the Xbox conference and the Bethesda conference. And then on the Monday right after, we're coming back here to Nerd Talk to do a Nerd Talk recap of that first day. Yep. And talk about all the Xbox stuff and do it like a big, full, nice breakdown. I'm not going to break anything down. I'm just going to be excited and have fun reacting to what's happening. Because I'm sure there's going to be... I think the Xbox conference is going to be bigger than I thought it was going to be. There's been some hints that there's some really crazy surprises hidden.
Aren't there supposed to be a lot more Xbox exclusives this year?
Yes, that's part of it. Like Phil Spencer said, there's going to be more first-party exclusives, which they bought a bunch of studios. Like Microsoft bought a bunch of studios to do more first-party stuff. But anyway, so the schedule. So Monday we're going to do the full big breakdown of Bethesda's and Xbox's E3s.
Yep.
And then we're going to do our reactions for Square Enix and Ubisoft.
Yep.
And then the next day we're going to do on the final day we're going to do Nintendo.
Yep.
So we're going to have the whole thing covered.
If you haven't seen the last episode, very excited for the Nintendo one. Big Nintendo geek right here.
And there's a handful of games that are going to be showing off at E3. So I saw something really cool. There was this little SKU packet, which is basically like these placeholders that GameStop gets for when new games are coming, but they haven't been announced yet. Right. But they're like placeholders, basically. There are like 20 Nintendo games, 20 PlayStation games, and then like somewhere around the same for Xbox. And those are just like the placeholder for games and stuff. Like they didn't talk about hardware or anything about that either. So like, let's do this. Let's do this.
Can't wait.
E3 is going to be crazy.
Yes.
And Todd Howard, the main man behind Bethesda Game Studios, said that both Microsoft and Sony, this upcoming generation of consoles, the 9th gen, are both learning from previous mistakes and are going to be coming out swinging hard. That has me so excited because let's do this. Like, let's have an amazing E3 this year. Because, we need one, man. Like, look, Xbox last year had a great, like, they came out strong. And they had nothing but games the whole time. They were like we learned from our past mistakes. Here, let's do this. Do it again this year, and then add on top of that the Scarlet reveal and maybe some other big surprises. Let's do this. I'm so excited for E3. Any other little plugs that we gotta mention before we go?
Something that I'm excited for. You showed me this a few weeks ago. The John Wick Hex game.
Yes, that looks really cool.
That looks really fun. I mean, you don't really expect somebody to make something like that.
Right. It's really cool because it's like a little turn-based thing too, which looks really fun. So, I'm actually... Well, look, we're big John Wick fans, all of us. I have a John Wick Chapter 3 review on my channel, if you didn't already know. We actually all went to see it together, which was really cool. Which we should have done that on this channel. I don't know what happened there.
I don't know.
Because then the three of us could have done the whole review for that.
Definitely.
We were super excited about that. But John Wick 4 is coming. That's been announced. The Ballerina spin-off is coming, as well as...
the Continental.
Was picked up by Starz. So that's going to be its own show on Starz, which would be really cool. I think it's going to be prequel because John Wick is supposed to make an appearance. So Keanu Reeves is just like on board as hell for this franchise, which is really cool because everybody loves this.
And then there's the crossover with John Wick and Atomic Blonde.
Yeah, there's been a lot. They've been talking about doing. They've been talking about it. We don't know if it's happening or not, but it's a rumor.
That would be
really
wicked.
Cool. Yeah. All right, guys, we're at that 30-minute mark.
Definitely.
We appreciate the hell out of you. I'll let Bear do our final goodbyes like normal.
All right, thanks everyone for coming out here and watching this episode of Nerd Talk. Oh, hope you all love this video. Go ahead, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget to hit that big old red subscribe button. Leave your comments down below on your opinions on all the topics that we spoke about today. And of course, hope you all enjoy E3 coming up, and we definitely see you in the next video. I have been Bear.
I've been Abe.
And I'm Mr. Clinton.
We'll see you guys
See you in the
soon.
next video. Send us out with a snap.
Guys, help.
Shit.